Hello, I'm Andy Schmuckler, fellow with a better human story about the big picture, but these days I'm just so preoccupied with the immediate challenge here in America, where the survival of American democracy is on the line. Over the weekend, I wrote three. When I was writing them, I intended to be the op-ed piece of the week, where I appear in newspapers around here in Virginia's 6th congressional district every week. Uh, but events, one after another, I'd write the piece and then events overtook them. So this morning I've written another piece, and what I'm going to be doing here is reading this other piece about what I think is, well, the best way forward given where we are right now, with the title, How Kamala Can Best Earn the Nomination. Using the word earn because she used the word earn in her gracious reception of Biden's endorsing her when he stepped aside. Here's the piece. President Biden did what America needed for him to do. After more resistance than would have been ideal, Biden accepted that he was not the best person to lead the current political battle, where the preservation of the American form of government is at stake. Given those stakes, everything possible must be done to assure that democracy and the rule of law survive. And that bears on the question of how Biden should be replaced at the top of the Democratic ticket. Biden endorsed his vice president, Kamala Harris, and with great speed, the Democratic world has been coalescing around that choice. Major political leaders, state delegations to the upcoming convention, and even the main figures who might have also been considered contenders for the top of the ticket have come out for her. It looks as though the nomination of Vice President Harris's for the taking. It's a defensible outcome. The party is clearly eager to end the cruciating uncertainty of recent weeks, to unify behind an entirely plausible candidate, and to get on with waging the campaign to save American democracy from authoritarianism. But there could have been a better way to arrive at the new champion of this cause. And there still could. That better way would be a well-designed contest that empowers the 3,000 plus delegates to the upcoming convention to choose the best nominee. And in such a must-win election, best means most likely to keep the powers of the presidency out of the hands of a would-be dictator who has claimed that as president he would be above the law. I'll get to the design of that contest in a moment. At this point, with the nomination almost already Kamala's for the taking, she herself is the only one who can call for such a contest. The fact that she is a woman of color means that there are sensitivities among core constituencies of the Democratic Party that could quite possibly flare up if it appeared to people that anyone was trying to snatch the nomination away from her. At the same time, there are ways, better for the Democrats and quite possibly better for Kamala as well, to launch their new champion than what's happening now, with her crown having been bestowed upon her by the endorsement from one person, and then gratefully ratified by a party eager to end the uncertainty and the struggle. Vice President Harris herself graciously responded to Biden's endorsement by pledging herself to earn as well as to win this nomination. It is unclear what she meant by earn. Was it a matter of just proving herself worthy of the nomination that was landing in her lap? Or was she expressing a willingness to prove herself the best choice in some kind of legitimate contest where the choosers considered the merits of competitors as well? The latter would be better for the nation because of the imperative of winning, but also potentially for Kamala as well. When the very foundations of the nation are at stake, this nomination is too important to be the decision of any one person, even a president of the United States, and even if the rest of the party agreeably jumps on board. Better if the party could proceed from here into a competition that would be seen by all as fair, that would unify the party behind the candidate that the collective wisdom of that party has determined is their best bet for winning. Kamala Harris herself can call for it. If she, emulating the nation before self virtues of President Biden, were to declare that the way she wants to earn the nomination is by opening up the process to other worthy possibilities, she would demonstrate heroic leadership. Kamala might call for a process to unfold along these lines. She would invite her potential competitors to take back their endorsements of her and join her in a contest to begin before the convention, in which each would deliver speeches of 15 to 20 minutes, trying out for how they would appeal to the American people to elect them and defeat Trump. The audience would include the delegates, but would quite likely also get national television attention. She could assure the party that there need be no chaos at the convention because through ranked choice voting, the convention could quickly arrive at a winner, as ranked choice voting always leads to one candidate getting more than 50%. Of course, inviting such a contest would mean putting at risk her place at the top of the ticket. But that kind of heroic leadership, combined with all she already has going for her, makes it likely that she would win that contest. And if she won that competition, she would be launched into the general election campaign much more powerful than she would be just as the Biden anointed one. But the big advantage would be to the nation. Not only would the winner of that contest, Kamala or whoever, represent the party's collective judgment about who would be the most likely to win that must-win election, but also a national audience would be exposed to speeches from the party's best giving their best that would tell the American people what they most need to know in order to protect and preserve the heritage our founders bequeathed to us. That's the piece. I must say I consider it unlikely that this scenario would be played out. For one thing, the Democrats tend to be risk adverse, and it seems much more plausible to think that settling the matter rather than reaching for a constructive, dramatic, and powerful way of resolving the replacement issue. It seems much more likely they'll go for the less risky, less adventuresome option, because that's the way liberal America has been for quite a while now. There's a strategy called minimax, which means that you minimize your risk, and rather than going for double or nothing, you try to maintain the benefits that you have, and that may in fact be the wiser route. I like the idea of doing this, but this process of nationally televised speeches from Kamala Harris and Gretchen Whitmer and Gavin Newsom and Josh Shapiro, I think that would be dynamite, and I don't know why you couldn't do it. But when you throw things open, you don't always anticipate how things could go. And where we are right now is so much better than where we were, just 30 hours ago, when we were hung up with the question of whether Joe Biden was going to stay when he had the only when he was the only one who could take himself off the ticket. We're in a much better position, and I think Kamala may in fact be a fine candidate. But I'm not the only one who thinks that there should be some kind of a process, some kind of not an anointing, not a coronation, as Nancy Pelosi said, that maybe she could be persuaded to do this. If she won, she'd be better launched and more likely to become president. And if she lost, she would have herself a heroic place, and the national interest in making sure Trump loses would be better protected if the 3,000 plus delegates decided to choose someone else. They're Biden delegates for the most part. I think she'd be in okay shape. And the contest in itself would be a big boost to the Democrats' campaign. Nationally televised, speech after speech, 5 or 6 of them, 2-hour program on TV, a version of American Idol, but with people talking about why they should elect Democrats and why it is essential to reject Trump and all that he represents. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye. Oh, if you like these things, please like, support, follow, subscribe. Go to my website, abetterhumanstory.org, and send a link to this video to anybody you think would find it of interest. Thanks a lot.